Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Hey, 8th grade, this is Mr. Lima. Welcome to our class. Welcome to our conversation class. How are you guys? I hope you guys are good. I hope you guys are doing okay. People, this is Mr. Lima, and we are at Dinamica School. Please grab your conversation book because now we are going to start our conversation class, okay? So I'm just opening our book. This is our book, pages 90, 91, and then page 142. Então, nós vamos primeiro corrigir as atividades de casa, que são as páginas 90, 91 e depois 142, ok? Vamos corrigir, então. On page, here we have a grammar section. We have maybe a video or a game here that we should see first. Let's see them.
Neste vídeo, vamos apresentar o uso e a forma do past tense. Quando usamos o past tense? Para expressar algo que se iniciou e terminou no passado. Por exemplo, I was sick last week. Mary arrived late from work yesterday.
Então, só lembrando, esse é um materialzinho trazido pelo livro, uma curta revisão, explicação, que vocês podem acessar também, ter acesso, quando vocês cadastram o livro de vocês, código alfanumérico, na plataforma Stand for do livro de vocês, ok?
Como formamos o past tense? Há dois tipos de verbos, os regulares e os irregulares. Como o nome já diz, os verbos regulares são sempre formados da mesma maneira. Verbo na base form, seguido de ed. Por exemplo, visit, visited. Work, worked. Atenção para estas regras de ortografia. Com verbos terminados em e, acrescentamos apenas d à base form. Exemplo, live, lived. Com verbos terminados em consoante mais y, trocamos o y por ied. Por exemplo, study, studied. Com verbos que terminam em consoante vogal consoante e têm a última sílaba tônica do...
Certo, gente? Eu vou terminar por aqui o vídeo, mas se vocês quiserem assistir todo ele, vocês conseguem acessando, né, o livro digital de vocês. Essas regrinhas de explicação estão no livro de vocês. E vocês têm acesso a elas. Regrinhas do uso do simple past. So let's listen and practice. Then read the examples in the grammar box. Listen and then practice. Okay? Then read the examples in the grammar box. Let's read. Let's listen, sorry. Let's listen.
Unit 8, Lesson 3, Track 61.
English, Geography, Math, Language Arts, Science, History, Art, Physical Education, PE, Music.
Muito bem. Agora vamos praticar. Let's practice. We have English, Geography, Math, Language Arts, Science, History, Art, Physical Education, PE, and Music. Vamos tentar também encaixar isso que a gente aprendeu no nosso conhecimento de gramática, com o que a gente já viu, já reviu sobre Simple Past. Lembrando, esse vídeo completo vocês podem assistir também com a acessão do livro digital de vocês, mas o que eu vou fazer? Eu vou dar uma colher de chá, eu vou passar o resto do vídeo agora com vocês. Vamos assistir o resto do vídeo agora. partir de onde a gente parou.
Atenção para essas regras de ortografia. Com verbos terminados em E, acrescentamos apenas D à base form. Exemplo, live, lived. Com verbos terminados em consoante mais Y, trocamos o Y por IED. Por exemplo, study, studied. Com verbos que terminam em consoante vogal consoante e têm a última sílaba tônica, dobramos a última consoante e acrescentamos ED. Por exemplo, omit, omitted. Plan, planned. Não há uma regra para a formação do passado dos verbos irregulares. Por isso, devemos memorizar a forma de cada um deles. Por exemplo, go, went. See, saw. Take, took. Como formamos a negativa no passado? Usamos o auxiliar did, seguido de not, seguido da base form do verbo principal. Por exemplo, I did not like that movie. E como formamos a interrogativa? Usamos did antes do sujeito. O verbo principal fica na base form. Did you study for the test?
Ok, então gostaram dessa revisão? Essa revisão, this review will help us to understand the shortest explanation here, where we have simple past negative form. Então, onde a gente tem uma explicação aqui e alguns exemplos dos verbos, né, de verbos do simple past na forma negativa. Então, vemos. I didn't have art last year. You didn't come to school by car 2 days ago. He, she, it didn't study history last week. We didn't do our math homework last night, and they didn't have science labs in 1850. Vamos ver alguns materiais que o livro separou para a gente também. Aqui nós temos um breve resumo. You see? Study boost, simple past, interrogative and negative. Interrogativa. Para formar interrogativa no simple past, usa-se a seguinte estrutura. Did, mais sujeito, mais base form, o verbo principal. Exemplo. Did Mitchell go to gym last week? Negativa. Para formar a negativa, emprega-se a estrutura sujeito, mais did not, ou a forma contraída, né, o didn't, base form do verbo principal. Por exemplo, I didn't see Jack at the cafeteria this morning. Ok? Nas sentenças interrogativas e negativas, as estruturas valem para todas as pessoas do discurso, tanto para verbos irregulares quanto para os regulares. Isso, assim como ocorre em outros tempos verbais, no simple past, a forma não contraída na negativa é usada em contextos formais, ou quando se quer dar ênfase na negação. Por exemplo, Karen, did you like school class yesterday? No, I did not. I didn't understand most of it. Ok? Então temos esse resuminho aqui. E abaixo temos esse joguinho aqui para a gente entender. Did you go to the party yesterday? No, yes, I did. Ou yes, ou no, I didn't. Então, como não temos no, I didn't, a primeira resposta é yes, I did. Próximo. Did your parents study in your school? Did your parents study in your school? Yes, they did, ou no, they didn't. Ok? Temos esse joguinho aqui para a gente fixar melhor o conteúdo. I'm sorry, but I didn't do. I didn't do my homework. Next one. Did Susan go to class at 8:30? Yes, she did. Or no, she didn't. Okay, yes, she did. Or no, she didn't. Last one, where did you go last Friday morning? I went to the science lab. I went. Ok? Então tem esse joguinho legal para a gente fixar. Aqui, ó, look at George's schedule for last year. Then correct the statements. Ok? Então, observe aqui a agenda, né, o cronograma de horário, cronograma de aulas do ano passado de George. Então, e corrija as frases, né? Então, vamos lá observar o horário de George, né? E vamos corrigir as sentenças que estão aí abaixo. A primeira sentença tem o seguinte: George went to a classroom for language arts. Então, a gente tem que corrigir, porque he didn't go. Actually, he didn't go to a classroom for language arts. Né? Aqui, ó. Quando a gente vê, na realidade, ele ia para o auditório, né? Auditorium. Classroom era geography, né? E outros. Language arts era auditorium, ok? Terceiro, he ate lunch in his classroom. Vamos ver, lunch era cafeteria. Portanto, o terceiro, he didn't eat lunch in his classroom. He ate lunch in the cafeteria, ok? Quarta frase fala o seguinte: he had science after lunch. Science after lunch? Não. Science era science and science lab, não era depois do lanche, né? He didn't have science after lunch. He had history after lunch. Na realidade, depois do almoço, cadê almoço? He has history. As you can see aqui, ó, after lunch, he has history. Então vai ficar assim: he didn't have science after lunch. He had history after lunch. On 5, he played volleyball in the auditorium. Volleyball in the auditorium. Let me see. No, he played volleyball. He didn't play volleyball in the auditorium. He played volleyball in the gym. Okay? And 6, he went to the geography after PE. Então, ele teve aula de geografia depois da educação física? Let's see. No, he didn't. He didn't go to the geography after PE. He went to science after PE. Então, ele teve, na realidade, aula de ciências depois de educação física. Ok? Então, corrigimos aí essa parte. Vamos para a página 91, page 91. On page 91, we have read and listen. Then write T for true and F for false. Então, vamos ler e escutar o áudio. Primeiro, ler. Math helps us understand many things around us, from building bridges to sharing a pizza. We use math every day. The history of math is interesting. Our system of numbers or numerals comes from Hindu-Arabic system that go back about 2,000 years. Mathematicians discovered many great things in the past. Pythagoras, a Greek philosopher and mathematician, calculated the length or how long the sides of triangles were by using the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Archimedes lived in Italy around the year of 250 BC. He discovered a way of calculating the volume of things. There is a famous story of Archimedes. One day, he was in his bathtub. He noticed that the water level went up when he got in. He jumped out of the bathtub and shouted, "Eureka!" That means "I understand." Another important idea from almost 4,000 years ago was the ancient Babylonian discovery of P. With P, we can calculate the area of a circle. That's the amount of flat space it covers. This is useful in many ways. In 1557, a mathematician named Robert Record invented the equal sign. Before that sign, mathematicians wrote equals in words. Next time you study math at school, remember all the mathematicians that came before you. You are part of the history of math. Sure. Let's listen to this text.
Unit 8, Lesson 3, Track 63.
Math helps us understand many things around us. From building bridges to sharing a pizza, we use math every day. The history of math is interesting. Our system of numbers or numerals comes from Hindu-Arabic systems that go back about 2,000 years. Mathematicians discovered many great things in the past. Pythagoras, a Greek philosopher and mathematician, calculated the length, or how long the sides of triangles were, by using the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Archimedes lived in Italy around the year 250 BC. He discovered a way of calculating the volume of things. There is a famous story about Archimedes. One day he was in his bathtub. He noticed that the water level went up when he got in. He jumped out of his bathtub and shouted, "Eureka!" That means, "I understand." Another important idea from almost 4,000 years ago was the ancient Babylonian discovery of pi. With pi, we can calculate the area of a circle. That's the amount of flat space it covers. This is useful in many ways. In 1557, a mathematician called Robert Record invented the equals sign. Before that sign, mathematicians wrote equals in words. Next time you study math at school, remember all the mathematicians that came before you. You are part of the history of math too.
Oh, guys. So those answers we use numerals to write numbers. This is true. Length describes how heavy something is. This is false. We use formulas to do mathematical calculation. This is true. We can measure volume by putting something in water. This is true. We use triangles to calculate the area of a circle. This is false. And we have some personal questions, and I'd like you to answer actually. Write 2 ways you use math in your life. This is about you guys. How do you guys use math in your own life? We have one answer already. To share a pizza. There are other ways. Like for me, I use to calculate the change on a bus, for example. When I pay the bus ticket and I receive the change, I calculate this with math. What about you guys? Give me other examples, please. Okay, so now I guess we've finished page 142. Let me check. Let's go to page 142. Yeah, and now let's go to page 142. Foi atividade de casa também. Então, vou dar tempinho para vocês tentarem comigo corrigir, né? Então, vamos lá. In here, we have complete the puzzle with words in the box. Então, vamos completar aqui o caça-palavras com as palavrinhas que estão aqui, ó, nessa caixinha, ok? Here we have music, math, English, então, put music, math, matemática, tá? Physical education, aqui, ó, educação física. English, aqui, certo? Art, history, aqui, tá? Science, aqui. Language, arts. And here, geography, ok? Então, todas essas palavrinhas que o completou estão aqui no box. And here, correct the mistakes. Então, vocês vão corrigir, vocês vão fazer um traço e vão reescrever a palavrinha correta aqui. Então, aqui, Mark and Noah didn't went. Didn't went está correto. Didn't go. Então, faz um tracinho aqui, um went. Corrige aqui com go. Ok? You don't do your homework last night. Don't do, não. Didn't do. Então, corrige o don't, passa um traço e escreve didn't aqui. Didn't. Aqui, my geography teacher didn't came to school yesterday. Correto? Didn't come. Então, eu passo um traço aqui em came, escreve come, C-O-M-E, come. Ok? Terceira questão. Certo? Nós temos aí, look at Emily's tasks from yesterday's list. Use cues to write sentence in the affirmative or negative forms of simple past. Então, temos algumas dicas que vão ajudar a gente para escrever a frase completa aqui, ó, baseado nesse exemplo. Nesse exemplo temos, finish geography homework. Ela conseguiu finalizar a atividade de casa de geografia? Não, Emily didn't finish her geography homework. Vocês podem ver aqui, ó, tá um xizinho, então ela não conseguiu. What about to go to the supermarket? No. Então escreve aqui, ó, she didn't go to the supermarket. Ela não conseguiu. She didn't. Ou Emily didn't go to the supermarket. O terceiro, talk to Miss Williams in the science lab. Yes, so she talked talk com ED no final, talked to Miss Williams in the science lab. Ela conseguiu. What about go to the library? Yes, she went to the library. Portanto, vai ficar assim, ó. She went to the library. Se vocês tiverem dúvidas sobre o emprego e como transformar um verbo que está aqui, ó, no infinitivo, transformá-lo para o passado, vocês podem seguir aqui, ó, essa lista de verbos, essa verb list. Aqui tem uma lista de vários verbos que tem eles no infinitivo e no simple past, o formato deles, como é que fica. Ok, gente? Assim a gente finaliza a correção da atividade de casa. E agora, para a classe, eu vou pedir para vocês fazerem as páginas 92, 93 e 143, ok? 92, 93 e 143, ok? Já já eu volto para corrigi-las juntos com vocês. Okay, everybody, let's get back to correct them. Okay, I'm back. Here we are on page 92. Let's listen and read the online forum for students. Então, aqui estou eu de volta. Quem não conseguiu acabar, dá uma pausa no vídeo, dá um pause no vídeo para tentar finalizar. E aqui nós vamos corrigir as páginas de casa, de classe, desculpa, que são as páginas 92, 92, 93 e 143. Ok, vamos lá? Então vamos escutar o áudio, certo? E depois ler o texto aqui abaixo. 92, página 92.
Unit 8, Lesson 4, Track 64.
We asked students to give us their favorite ideas for studying and getting good grades. What do you think of their ideas?
I often need to look words up, and I like to use a dictionary. I don't mean an online dictionary. I use an actual book. When I look a word up, I take notes in the dictionary. I underline the word the first time I look it up. Then, if I look it up again, I put a star next to it. That way, I realize it's an important word and one I really need to learn.
I learned something important last year. When I take a test, I don't start answering the questions immediately. I read them all before I start working on the test. That way, I know how long it is and how many questions there are. First time I took a test after I did this, I passed the test. I not only passed it, I got an A.
I didn't do a lot of homework until I got to middle school. Then I did a lot. And I heard that there's more in high school. So I decided to make a homework area at my house. I share a bedroom with my sisters and it's noisy. I found a place in the dining room that's quieter and I do my homework there. It's great.
I want to get good grades, but last year I didn't get good grades at all. They were terrible. Then I did something different. I started doing my homework the same day that I got it. That way, I remembered what to do, how to do it, and what we talked about in class. That was a big part of why I get much better grades now.
Okay, perfect. We finished the listening. I believe you guys read that or will read that at home. So now let's listen and answer the questions. Now, audio 65. Let's listen this.
Unit 8, Lesson 4, Track 65.
From Justin Carter, a 9th grader at Rocky Creek Middle School.
I have a study tip that really changed my study habits. When I study, I try to take a break every hour. You can't sit and study for hours and hours and not take a break. Every hour, I plan to study for 50 minutes, and then I get to take a break for 10 minutes. What do I do when I take a break? I don't watch TV, I don't lie down, and I don't check social media on my phone. I turn on music and I dance. It's a great exercise, it's fun, and it's a great way to get ready to concentrate for another 50 minutes.
Okay. So the answers are 2A, 1A, 2, C, and 3B. Okay. 3. Now, activity 3. Match the parts of the collocation. Então, vamos relacionar as partes da collocation às palavrinhas que andam juntos. Então, vamos lá. Nós temos aqui book, look, vai com quê? Look vai com be, look something up. Pass, pass vai com a, pass a test. Do, do vai com e, do homework. Get, get vai com C, get good grades. And take, take vai com D, take a break, ok? Então, a ordem fica B, A, E, C, D, ou seja, B, A, E, C, D, ok? Let's listen and practice. Vamos escutar e praticar.
Unit 8, Lesson 4, Track 66.
When I look a word up, I take notes in the dictionary.
When I take a test, I don't start answering questions immediately.
I didn't do a lot of homework until I got to middle school.
Last year, I didn't get good grades at all.
What do I do when I take a break?
Okay, now let's listen one by one, then we stop them and we repeat them.
Unit 8, Lesson 4, Track 66.
When I look a word up, I take notes in the dictionary.
Okay, when I look a word up, I take notes in the dictionary. Repeat, please. Next.
When I take a test, I don't start answering questions immediately.
When I take a test, I don't start answering questions immediately. Repeat, please.
I didn't do a lot of homework until I got to middle school.
I didn't do a lot of homework until I got to the middle school. Okay.
Last year, I didn't get good grades at all.
Last year, I didn't get good grades at all.
What do I do when I take a break?
What do I do when I take a break? Good. Now you guys should read, then write a study tip of your own, ok? Então, vamos ler esse texto e dar uma dica que vocês sugerem para a pessoa aqui, no caso, ok? Ou para outros leitores. I do my homework at the same time every day. I come home from school at 4 o'clock and I study, and I usually take a few minutes to have a snack and rest. Then I do my homework. I try to always start doing it around 5 o'clock. It really makes my life easier. I can have dinner later and watch some TV or talk to my friends in the evening. Okay? So if you have any more tips to write for your reader, for your colleagues, or for me as well, or for friends and relatives, you can write here. Se vocês têm algumas outras dicas que facilitam a vida de vocês, vocês podem escrever aqui. Ok? 6, tell your classmates about your study tips. Então, vocês podem falar aqui, ó, sobre a dica de vocês dessa maneira. I think it's really important to get enough sleep the night before I take a test. I can't think when I'm tired. Okay? You can't think, really think. You can't calculate. You can't think. You can't read, comprehend the text when you get tired of something. Okay? All right, let's go to page 143. Okay, on page 143 is here. Answer the question that's here. Would you like to go to high school in another country? Why or why not? Você gostaria de ir para escola, né? Ou para o ensino médio em outro lugar? Em outro país? Sim ou não? And here, read a blog entry by Ashton Walker about his student abroad experience in Brazil. Então vamos ler a experiência, né, de outra pessoa que veio passar um intercâmbio aqui no Brasil. So, let's see. My name is Ashton Walker, and I'm from San Diego, California. Last year, I had the best experience of my life. I went to high school in Brazil. During 2016 Olympics, I saw so many incredible scenes of Brazil that I decided I had to go to the high school there. And I did. My Brazilian family lived in a big city called Belo Horizonte. It is the state of Minas Gerais. My family was great, and I started school 1 week after I go to Belo Horizonte. My Brazilian school was very different. The school started at 7:30 in the morning and ended at 12. We had lunch at home. The school had a cafeteria, but we bought snacks there, not lunch. English class was really easy, obviously, but math and science classes were much harder than in California. I liked my school because I had more time in the afternoon to do fun things. After lunch, I played soccer with a group, of boys near my house. I thought I was good at soccer, but compared to those kids, I didn't know how to play at all. But I learned. I also learned Portuguese. It took me about 6 months. I want to go back to Brazil in college. Okay? Okay, 3. Read the answers and write appropriate questions. Use the cues in the box. Então, usando essas partículas, essas estruturas, vamos tentar escrever as determinadas perguntas para essas respostas correspondentes. Vamos lá. Temos aqui a pergunta, a resposta, they lived in Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais. Então, a pergunta correspondente será, where did his Brazilian family live? Where did his Brazilian family live? Ok? Where did his Brazilian family live? Em 3, nós temos, it started at 7:30 in the morning. When did school start? When did school start? Então, usamos essa primeira estrutura aqui. When did school start? No 4, he had lunch at home. He had lunch at home. Portanto, a pergunta será, where did he have lunch? Where did he have lunch? Aqui ó, usamos essa estrutura, where did he have lunch? No 5º, temos a resposta, because he had more time in the afternoon to do fun things. Usaremos a resposta, a pergunta, why did he like his school? Why did he like his school? Aqui, ó, essa estrutura aqui do meio, why did he like his school? E na 6ª, a resposta, a pergunta para a resposta, já vou falar, mas a resposta foi essa daqui, ó. It took him 6 months to learn Portuguese. E a pergunta será, how long did it take to learn Portuguese? How long did it take to learn Portuguese? Usamos esta estrutura aqui, ó. How long did it take to learn Portuguese? Essa estrutura aqui do meio. Ok, pessoal? Finalizamos aqui com a página 143. Gostaria de lembrá-los que para casa vocês devem fazer as páginas 94 e 95. For homework, pages 94 e 95 são as tarefas de casa de vocês, as páginas 94 e 95, não esquecer. Ok? Assim a gente finaliza a aula de hoje. I'll see you next class. Bye bye, guys. See you.